My boyfriend smells bad. So I've been with my boyfriend 20 for 3 years now. He has always taken showers in the morning. If he workouts later in the day he does not take showers. Today, he worked a 14-hour shift at Waffle House. He came home wanting to go to sleep on the bed, but I personally thinks that's nasty. I told him, take a 5 minutes shower and then come sleep with me. He told me I was being an inconsiderate girlfriend. I told him if he didn't want to take a shower then he could go sleep on the couch, which he did. What should I do? Also, I don't like the sheets getting dirty. He told me I was being an inconsiderate girlfriend. Tell him that it's inconsiderate to reek of Waffle House and get in your clean bed with his clean I'm assuming you bathe regularly girlfriend. Would he like it if you farted in his face while he's trying to sleep? I don't think you did anything wrong. Sheets can be washed, so can your boyfriend, but a double shift is also very exhausting so I can get wanting to just fall asleep. But sleeping next to someone who smells strongly of food and grease, no, that is just nasty. I am on your side with this. I always shower before I go to bed because I hate getting the sheets dirty with stuff from the day. As far as I'm concerned, only clean bodies and clean pajamas are allowed in the bed. People in day clothes are allowed on top of the comforter, but not if they're sweaty or have mud on them or anything like that. He should be respectful and not put his disgusting self in the bed after a 14-hour shift. Then you both are just laying in filth for the whole night and the sheets need to be washed the next day. I think you need to explain to him how gross it is to sleep in sweat and dirt like that. It only would have taken him 5 minutes to take a shower. That's not a huge sacrifice. Ew, my fiancé does this. Sometimes he just reeks so I try to be nice and offer to shower together to make it seem sexy when in reality he just stinks from working all day. I honestly can relate to this. I do commercial turf maintenance and some days, regardless of how dirty I am I just wanna collapse. But also I don't have someone in my ear telling me I'm smelly so I guess the circumstances differ. Just tell the kid he stinks and it's a big turn off. Ask him how he'd feel if you were to do the same thing, hopefully it'll give him some perspective. I wouldn't even want him on the couch either tired. The origin of nearly all relationship issues is lack of communication. The next step is setting reasonable expectations. Last, if the expectations that have been deemed reasonable by both partners can't be met, it's time to end the relationship. It works for every problem. Tell him you don't want to be with someone who smells bad. It's not that you're somehow superior or he's somehow inferior, you just prefer to be with someone who bathes. What you decide is reasonable is up to you guys. If he doesn't follow through, as amicably as possible, move on. It doesn't make him a bad person. It doesn't make you a good person. There isn't a good or bad guy. Reasonable expectations couldn't be fulfilled so it rendered the relationship untenable. I agree he should be considerate and shower cause it would make you happy. I think the way you approached the situation with either shower or sleep on the couch might have been a little inconsiderate to him. Maybe you could have offered to join him in a few minutes. Us guys are simple like that. Now if this is a reoccurring problem, maybe you might have to sit him down and tell him how you feel. Even if he doesn't acknowledge that he smells or is being inconsiderate, if you are in a country where COVID is still in circulation, the very least he should be doing is taking a shower after coming home from a public place. It is inconsiderate of him to get into bed all nasty and stinky after a long shift, working out, etc. He needs to wash off so he isn't bringing all that stank into bed and rubbing it into the mattress. Why do people shower in the mornings? My husband, kids and I shower in the evenings. It makes so much more sense. No one is fighting over the bathroom in the mornings, because you're not rushing to go anywhere. You get into clean underwear, PJs and clean bedsheets and when you wake up you're still clean to go about your day. All covered in syrup and COVID is inconsiderate. Tell him to shower for you because you sleep next to him. Does he want to wash the sheets and make the bed every other day? Because if so, fine. But if you are doing that labor, nah. I'm more of a night and always post-workout showerer, because there's nothing nastier than getting into clean sheets with the sweat and dirt of the day on you, especially during winter germ season and with COVID floating around. I don't blame you. I don't want a bedtime cuddle with 14 hours of sweaty Waffle House. Have a talk with him about his hygiene. That is not healthy. The difference between me and your boyfriend is this. My wife would have said, "Hun, I know you're tired, I'm sorry, but you stink, would you please take a shower before you come bed, I really don't want the sheets to stink." And I'd have said, "Sure thing, sunshine, it's not what you did, it was your attitude I didn't like." But if she gave me an ultimatum like you did your boyfriend, it wouldn't go well. I agree it's nasty, but a 14-hour shift at a restaurant during the holidays is brutal. I know you personally think it's nasty, but did you stop to think about how exhausted he probably was? My boyfriend has a weird sleeping schedule. We don't live together, so it's a bit easier to get used to when to see him. He'd wake up around 3 p.m. and I would go to his around then. Sometimes when I come round while he's still sleeping, first thing he always does is give me a kiss and go for a shower so he doesn't smell so bad for me. If your guy doesn't want to do something so minor, a 5 minutes shower even, then think about what he's not gonna bother wanting to do further up the line in your relationship. 14 hours is a long shift. I wouldn't want to sleep in my reek. I sure as hell wouldn't expect anyone else to. Granted, I worked at Domino's, not Waffle House, but I'm pretty sure the stench is similar. Hell, at 20 I'd have been so deliriously happy to have a live-in girlfriend I'd sandblast myself if she wanted me to. Dudes got warped priorities. I was like your boyfriend. My then girlfriend said do the shower thing regularly. Then said she joins sometimes beginning now. That was a great incentive and deflated the "you're being controlling" nonsense in my head. As a male who also smells a lot, I understand why he would feel bad. But you're being perfectly reasonable too. He should take a quick shower. I think you could have approached it better, but you are right. Try making it less personal and say it's because you can smell the food on him rather than because he smells. Your man is dirty. Sounds like he's not going to change if you have to keep repeating yourself. So he woke up, showered, worked 14 hours and just wanted to go to sleep? Am I missing something? Because it seems incredibly selfish of you. It's one thing if he was covered in sewage or something, but Waffle House. That's all it takes for you to not let your significant other get some much-needed rest? How about you sleep on the couch if it was too much for you and he can do laundry later? Unless you alone are paying for it, I don't see how you think you could ask that from someone. Even after a 16-hour day, I still shower. That's not including my drive time. So, anyone with sense will know you're being reasonable asking him to shower before you lay down. Especially after working at the Waffle House. With stuff like this you have to be brutally honest. Just tell him, "Babe, you gotta shower. Sometimes twice a day. You smell bad at times and it's unbearable." He worked a 14-hour shift, on Christmas, just to come home to a girlfriend that makes him sleep on the couch if he doesn't shower. If this is the hill you choose to die on, please break up with this man and save him from yourself. I'd just be honest, and upfront. Otherwise it will bother you over and over again. Honestly, I think the real issue here is that he's doing a 14-hour shift at Waffle House. That sounds extremely exhausting, and honestly I'd collapse in my bed the second I got home. 7-hour shift, I might come home and reluctantly shower for my partner. 14 and I'm just collapsing in bed. Are you two doing okay financially? Is there any way to rearrange your lives so he doesn't have to work 14 hours? Tell him if he wasn't so big and sweaty you wouldn't have to be inconsiderate. The guy worked a 14-hour shift FFS. If the smell bothered you that much, maybe you could have offered to sleep on the couch yourself. That would be a considerate move and he would have declined anyway. You missed an opportunity to strengthen your relationship and chose rather to put a wedge in it. Not sure if anybody said this already, but maybe try the luring with honey approach. Like right before he gets home, fill him up a nice warm bath with Epsom salts and bubble bath and light some nice candles. Do all the work so he doesn't even have to think about it or lift a finger, except to take his clothes off and get in. Also, if that fails, at least tell him to remove his dirty ass clothes and then just fucking Febreze him, hair, everything. That might get you through till morning. And if he bitches about it, just go take that bath you made up for him and lock the door while he tires himself out from complaining and passes out anyway. Woman shrugging, light skin tone. This happened one time and you made a post on Reddit. Well, what you give is constructive criticism. Hygiene is important. He needs to take a bath. It really depends how dirty he is overall and how much it bothers you. I have been in this situation and it's really unpleasant. In the end, I couldn't have sex with my boyfriend because of the smell and we ended up having a nasty breakup because of it. I would suggest breaking up with him, as it seems you two have different opinions on hygiene and he is unwilling to compromise. Maybe he hides some Limburger on his body, at all times. If he stinks, he should be more self-aware about it. Tell him like it is. Not that's nasty. It is completely understandable if he is smelling. He is going to stink up the sheets and it is unfair for you to have to deal with that smell all night to then have it on the sheets as well. He should just shower before bed instead of morning if he only wants to take one shower a day. Also, if deodorant does not do him justice, tell him to cut lime and rub it on his armpits every morning and night. If you don't like his beau, then dump him. He isn't willing to change his habits for you, dump him. Today, hygiene is the key to staying healthy. 14 hours with customers in this COVID-laden pandemic, he needs to shower before he comes anywhere near you. Why has it taken you 3 years to come to this? He's wrecked tired. Once in a while I'd leave him sleep on his side of the bed, but if it's a regular thing he needs to change his habits. Everyone has different boundaries. My partner always showers at night while I do in the morning and she's always happy even after a long shift from me to sleep in bed, but I could also see how people wouldn't like that, especially if they properly smell. Just need to have a conversation about what each other's boundaries are, and make compromises. Talking about it is always the answer. Lol. Tell him to wash his ass. If that doesn't work, then leave him. I'm confused. Unless you like stinky men. I have never been too tired to take a shower when I get home from work and I work manual labor. Find a boyfriend who takes care of his hygiene and doesn't work at the Waffle House. My dad is like this. My mom has resorted to buying him new pillows every few months because he ruins pillows. I once overheard her complaining to her friends about it and saying it was divorce-worthy. Frankly, I would love it if they got divorced. Not just because he refuses to take a 5-minute shower before bed, but because she also does 99% of the housework. This is just an anecdotal tale from my life, but I thought it'd be worth sharing since there's at least one parallel. It's something to think about. Kick him into touch. Bad body odor is not acceptable in this day and age. Showers are amazing and even better if you join him in it. Then you get the best of both worlds. Should have offered to get into the shower with him. XD. Sometimes you have to argue about stuff for it to really sink in.